Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the SU-130PM. It's a Tier 8 Soviet premium tank destroyer. It's located on the defending spawn of Erlenberg Assault, and it's under the command of marke12. And yes, we featured a lot of games with this tank destroyer recently. It's a lot of fun. Let's see how he gets on. Okay, well, game started. 13cm main gun, capable of doing 520 alpha and penetrating 243mm with standard AP. And with the heat rounds, it will go through 320mm. There's not a lot this thing can't penetrate. And in fact, you're better off using standard AP with this thing than the premium rounds to a certain extent, because you'll make a bundle in money. Now, this game took place in December of 2022, and it's my fault that it took so long to get around to doing it, but I thought I'd collect together all those SU-130PM games and do them all at the same time. Okay, no armor on this vehicle, by the way. It's and there are Arty in the game, so it is very vulnerable to Artys. You don't want to ever get spotted with this, but you can do a huge amount of damage to the enemy. Well, the Borsig managed to get into the castle grounds, just got through the gates, I think, before he was spotted, and a T-44 has just got in there as well now. Now, it was a briefest moment that he saw that, I think it was the SU-130PM, but he fired around in that direction just in case. Now, you only get 30 rounds of ammunition, so you have to use your rounds carefully to get the maximum amount of damage. It's not quite as bad as the Manticore, where you only get 20 rounds of ammunition, but you can do a huge amount of damage. Look at that. First shot that actually hits the target does 551, which is a high roll. And that BZ certainly felt that, and he's about to feel it again. And he takes 553 this time. So he's done over 1,000, in fact 1,104 hit points of damage from just 2 shots. Which goes to show how powerful this little thing is. Now, it's based on the SU-130PM, so it's basically a very thin armoured design, but neither of them were actually put into production. It's got the 3rd best alpha for its tier, and it's also got incredibly good accuracy, a reasonably high top speed as well, 65 kilometers an hour, but that's mainly because it's not very heavy. The total weight of this vehicle is technically only 27 tons, so it's as light as a light tank. Well, a heavy light tank, but a very, very light medium. But it does move 65 kilometers an hour. That's very fast indeed. Now, it does have a fairly good gun arc, but it'll only fire 77.5 degrees each side of the center line, which means you've only got a total arc of 156. And if you want to shoot at targets that are 90 degrees to your left or right, you actually have to turn the vehicle, because you can't aim the turret or turn the turret while Tortoise going up against an Emil 1 who got the better, but he got a lovely shot there into the Emil. 603 hit points, which is a high roll. Now, he is right at the edge of those bushes, so the enemy up in the castle probably would have been able to see him as he was firing there. It's not going so well for us at the moment. The enemy seems to be doing better. There are 2 tanks up on us at the moment. This is an assault game, only lasts 10 minutes, and they've still got 6 minutes 20 seconds to win the battle. But that evens it up a bit. They've lost their BK-4502B. Now, this is what you would say a traditional tank destroyer in terms of the way you play it. It's more of a shoot from a great distance away where the enemy can't see you, and you can just then quickly relocate. The Scorpion G, can actually be played like a medium in many ways, because they do act like a Panther. Of course, obviously, Panther's not a great medium tank as well, because it's fairly thin armour, but it does have the turn speed, and of course it's got that big 128mm gun. This is basically the Soviet version of the Scorpion. Okay, from this angle, he might be able to get shots on the enemy. Our Udis has taken a few hits, but the only enemy tank that's got the castle grounds now is the T-44, and he's on the south side pulling back. So obviously he didn't like it. And the BZ-176 pulled back because he lost too much hit points to Marky. Coming up on the halfway point of the battle, 5 minutes. And the score is even, which means now the enemy's in trouble. Now you can see he's actually platooned with the Scorpion, who's actually on the main High Street Road. And I think he feels safe enough now to actually move and change position and try and help his teammates on the other flanks. And, ooh, that's not so good because we just lost the Iron Arnie over on the east side of the map. So I get the impression what he's going to try and do is try and support that flank and move over there. The M53, M55 really needs to redeploy, and if he's smart, he'll move over to the west side of the map. Although again, we've just lost another tank, and this time round we lost the Units 14-5 in the castle, and it was the enemy Scorpion that got him. There's the BZ-176, same guy we hit before, crossing the water. He's by the buildings actually. He's not crossing the water. He's actually in the buildings on the east side of the river. Our Tortoise is nearby. The M53, M55 needs to fall back. He is, yep, Mark is completely correct. The M53 is in the wrong place. He needs to go over to the far west side of the map. Even though we've got no defenders on that side of the map anymore, the fact is the enemy's not really pushing over there except for a BZ-176, and that's the badly mauled one. Actually, the one in front of us is not the one that we hit earlier. It's a different one. And we've lost sight of the other BZ-176. Didn't get spotted there. So I have the feeling that BZ-176 is actually going to try and come up the west side of the map. The M53 could go across the river and hide in that area, that little foliage area, and he wouldn't be seen by the enemy, even if he, if he stopped firing for a few seconds when the enemy was close. Okay, Marky is torn between supporting the east side and going over to the west side. We're now 3 tanks down. It's not looking good. His platoon mate is coming back. He's already got 2 kills. This does not look good. I do have the feeling the BZ-176 is coming up the west side of the map, and if he gets into these bushes here, he might be spotted, or might spot the enemy. Okay. It's precautionary. His teammates come out behind him. They're anticipating that BZ coming into sight. If he does, then they'll double tap him. That's the 2-minute warning. They've still got 4 left on their team. The P-44 is holding the far east side of the map, stopping the enemy coming from that direction. We're holding this side. No sign of that BZ-176 yet. T-44 and the enemy team trying to come up the main road. Now that Arty shot would have probably drawn the attention of the T-44. He did get stunned. And in fact, the Scorpion just killed the T-44. Here comes the enemy Scorpion. Got a shot. He's looking for a green. There you go, gunshot. Yes, lovely shot there. 740 hit points is a high roll. We did get spotted though, and the worry now is the 176 is probably going to be around somewhere. TS5 coming up as well. He's very, very close. Now, can we get a shot into him? Yes, we can. Last minute. Yep, the TS5 goes down, taken out by our teammate Scorpion. That's I-Duck. Okay. And the enemy's starting to cap. They've got 2 in the cap, so they can cap out. They've now got 3 in the cap, so they must have rushed people over as quickly as they can. We need to use these bushes get close to the cap to then start laying some fire down in. We do get hit by the enemy Scorpion. That's the first hit we've received in the game. But we've got to get an interrupt, and we can't see the cap. There's the Scorpion. One shot in, resets. They can still win. If we can get another reset, it will change the game. We're reloading, and unfortunately the BZ gets us. But it looks like we've saved the game with another reset from iDuck. Well, the funny thing about that battle right at the end is that Marky's platoon mate actually wanted him to die so he could get a medal. Yes, because there were enough enemies still alive at the end of that game that he would have got a Kolobanov virtually automatically when the clock ran out. He got the resets to actually enable them to win. So they did win the game. It was a third-class tanker for marke12 in the SU-130PM. He also managed to get a fire for effect for doing more damage than hit points with his own vehicle. And his win rate from that one was 2,615, which is Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, the highest damage in the game turned out to be Scorpion, his platoon mate, who got 4,002 hit points of damage, picked up the Kolobanov's medal because Marky died right at the last moment. And as a result, yes, he was the last one alive on his team at the end of the game, and automatically got the award because the enemy was not able to cap out. They were reset enough times in the cap that it extended it by a few seconds, so the game ended before they could complete the cap. So very well done to iDuck, or what has his real name is Vasily 9323102 of Taken. Yes, you earned a Kolobanov by your teammate dying. At least you didn't do a Steve Walst on him and kill him at the end to get the medal. But of course, you can't kill a teammate nowadays because it's been banned. It's not possible anymore. And that was absolutely hilarious when that did happen, even though it was a team kill. But in this occasion, yes, Marky did die, and he got the Vasily got the high caliber. And in second place on the game turned out to be the BZ-176 with 3,235. And then it was Marky with 3,060. When it came to kills, the highest scorer was Vasily in the Scorpion. 4 kills to him, 2 kills to the Kunstpanzer, the Scorpion G, and the BZ-176 on the enemy team, who also picked up a Spartan medal. And we can see that Marky didn't get any kills at all in that game. Oh, but he did a huge amount of damage all the same. And when it came to base XP, he's in third place because Vasily managed to get 1,068, the only player to get over 1,000 base. 839 went to the M3Y, and then we got Marky with 798 in that game. He fired only 7 rounds, but he got 5 direct hits on the enemy and 5 penetrations. Damage of 3,060 hit points, of which 1,707 were at more than 300 meters. He received 3 hits. All 3 were penetrations. I did say the armor very, very thin. And he did receive 1 hit by way of splash damage as well. And I'm afraid, yes, it did take him out of the game. But, of course, they won the game at that point because the resets that Marky got just at the last moment in the end of the game actually saved them and allowed Vasily to claim his medal. 4 enemy vehicles damaged, none killed, but he did get 566 hit points of damage assistance, and he got 32 reset points or defense points on the cap. Now, he earned a profit on that game of 116,212 credits, and that's down to the fact that he used standard AP, and that's the thing, as I said, this thing's got tremendous penetration with standard ammunition. You don't need to use the premium at all. In fact, you can just carry a small amount of premium for whenever you come up against a tier 10 game, tier 10 opponents, which have got the heavy armor. Most of the time, you'll just be able to penetrate just about anything you come across, so long as you play it like a tank destroyer. Don't try and play it like a medium, because you will be as full of holes like a sieve. He also earned a profit on XP with 1,317. It was funny at the end that his platoon mate wanted him to die so he could get that medal, but yeah, it was a good game actually, right down to the last second that they won that one, so well done indeed. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.